Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, production of iHeartRadio.
And we are back with some happy hours, which we're coming up on soon doing the Sex and the City seasons, I promise. But we're just, still travel holiday mode. So it's kind of chaotic still. Because you're about to go to Vegas even. We just found that out.
Literally right before this, yeah.
So many things. And I am still not invited. It's fine. It's fine. I heard they had bed bugs anyway. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Too soon. Too soon.
No, it's all right. I should be prepared. You're right.
You do need to be prepared. For real. Find some infrared lighting somewhere or something.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we are back with a happy hour. And I guess it's going to be like a wine, except I'm not so much. Maybe I am. I don't know. But before we start, if we talk about something specific like companies, we're not necessarily being sponsored by that. Just a caveat. We might be later. Who knows? But right now, not currently a sponsor. Mm-hmm. You sipping on something?
It's my red wine.
Red wine.
I have this horrible habit. Last night I played Dungeons and Dragons, even though I was exhausted, and I'm very tired from my trip to Disney, which I will be talking about in the next week. But if the moons align, you have to play Dungeons and Dragons because the scheduling is so difficult. I've taken my COVID test. I don't have it, I guess. I told everybody though, so they knew. But anyway, I always do this thing where after I hang out with people, I want like a final before I go to bed drink, and I poured this wine, and then I just went to sleep. I never drank it. So it's like old,
sitting out all night wine and day, because it is late afternoon at this point. Nice.
That's about where I am right now. That's how I feel.
There you go.
That's what I'm sipping on.
That's the celebration. I am doing a sparkling alcoholic beverage, and it is grapefruit. Because I decided I don't like their black cherry, which is odd because I love black cherry, but I don't like it. And that's the only other flavor that was cold.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
We haven't done cocktails. Oh, I did buy a cocktail. Non-alcoholic liquor that you and I have to split so we can feature it. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. But yes, so if you are also partaking of something adult-ish, be responsible. Point blank. Take care of yourself and those around you. Be responsible. Mm-hmm. But today, I just kind of wanted to reflect the fact that I have officially turned, I guess I'm in my mid-40s, if you put it. No, not yet. I'm still in my early 40s. Joey, our researcher and wonderful person, I actually went and met with them for a drink. And I was pretty sure that I was close to their parents' age, and I'm not, but I'm closer to their age, I think, their parents' age than I am to Joey. But it hasn't been like, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm old enough to be your mother, to have birthed you. And I find that fascinating because I've been having conversations with more people about the fact that as I get older, my coworkers keep getting younger, like the younger and younger and younger. And in the field that we are, of course they are, because I had a fun conversation with my partner's cousin. She is a data journalist, which is brand new to me. I was like, what is that? Because we know that print is gone, so that kind of journalism is kind of out the window. Mm-hmm. So seeing that major, and they work for Politico and have this really fascinating job, and it's literally putting together information and publishing data and all these things to their reports. And I was like, wow, what is that? And she is very young as well. I was like, I could also birth you. This is getting fun. There are moments where I'm having this these jobs are so new. This media medium that's fairly new-ish, 10 years, 10, 15 years. I know it's been around longer than that, but us catching on in the last 10 years. We're bringing in younger and younger people. We have younger and younger producers. Joey is one of those. Younger and younger writers and researchers and hosts and such. So it's kind of like, okay, the gap between us is getting bigger and bigger. And I kind of forgot that you and I have a pretty significant gap in actuality. But it's kind of one of those things like, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I've hung out with people significantly older than me, and we always love that because we love the different stories and different perspectives, and they were always seen as cool. I was like, oh yeah, you're really cool. I'm like, oh no, I've become that. She's significantly older than me, but she's so cool. She can hang. And I'm like, oh, wow. That is me. Like hanging out with Joey. I've become that person. I'm double their age, essentially. Not completely, like, but it feels like it close to that. But like the hang was still really fun. And like I felt like there was no awkwardness. Maybe Joey's going to go on to their friends and be like, yeah, it was super awkward. But like trying to be, considerate in the conversation, making sure that I'm not just talking about work, which we talked about work, all those things, and, not trying to be old and giving advice for things. Because I was like, there's only one advice I'd given them. And I told them pretty much first time we recorded, I was like, this is the only thing I tell you, don't do this. Because they talked about their future plans. They were like, yeah, this is neat. Let's do this. And them getting involved in podcasting and how like everybody's story about podcasting is typically like, didn't mean to, just got here.
Right.
So, having that conversation with someone newer that's freshly graduated. They graduated a couple of years ago and into this field and jumped in. I'm like, wow, okay. And knowing this and really loving it and finding their own niche, I was like, okay, cool. But it also had me thinking about, yeah, I am not in their peer group. Like, I don't think I could hang in that peer group. And then I thought about it as we went to Dragon Con, myself and another producer friend of ours, Ramsey, where we talked about, they were talking, so somebody was saying something about age and being old, and Ramsey and I are like, we're here, right? We exist here. Like, and we are 8 years older than you. I'm gonna need you to stop. Like having that moment. But understanding, yeah, I'm sure people who I've hung out with that are older than me are like, you need to stop with that kind of conversation. But it's really odd to be more likely on the end of like, oh, they forgot that we are way older than you. And having that mixed moment of like, all right, my partner's brother's there who is 10 to 13 years younger than me. And then your friend's boyfriend, also that younger, that significantly younger. And I'm just sitting here going, yeah, I'm the mama of this group. And of course, I'm also the first one that tapped out. I was like, I'm done. It's 10:30. Bye, y'all. And I never returned, y'all. I never came back. But like having those moments of, okay, I see a difference. I see a difference in myself and in y'all in that level of like, I'm tired this way. And it could just be my personality type. But like, I feel like I look like I'm worn. I feel like I definitely, I'm not necessarily, I'll say I don't think I look completely my age, but I don't look like I'm y'all's age either. Like I don't look the 30s, early 30s either. And I mean, like, I really wish. And I'm contemplating like, maybe I should do these things to my face. I should maybe get these types of products. And because I'm like, it's kind of scary. It feels also alien in that I don't feel like my age, as we've talked about previously. But at the same time, I do feel like my age. I feel like there are moments when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh yeah, I need some cream. Like something like that. And then like wondering like, okay, I can see where women my age or people my age start looking at fillers and Botox or looking at different products. And because I'm like, I don't love this feeling of looking at this point of these things that I don't like. And again, this has a lot to do with, I know my own self-esteem. I'm more confident now. Don't get me wrong. Like there are things that I'm like, I'm really glad. I really wish I had this attitude when I was younger about myself and feeling like less caring about what other people think about me. I have a partner who is very gracious and seems to love everything about me. So then I'm like, oh, that feels nice too. But in knowing these are the flaws that I have and I hate them and I've always had. And then at feeling a little older, getting older every year, which is, I know, as Minnie says, a blessing, and I get that. I don't want to discredit that because I also don't deny my age. I don't deny that I am in that point. And I also know that I am active and I am able to do so much more. I am freer than my mom was my age because she had 4 kids at this point in time. I have 0. I have a dog who I love very much, but I can have dog sitters to hang out. Thank you, Annie. And friends who want to hang out with her, and I can do my own thing, travel. There's so many things. But all of every birthday hits me with, okay, but what about these things? Is this the place that I wanted to be? Is it good that I'm hanging out with 20-year-olds at 40-something years old? Is that something that I should be like, you should really take a re-examination of your life? Again, I love Joey and I want to hang out with them all the time. But there are moments where I'm hanging out. I'm like, yeah, do I belong here? Or should I be in a book club with middle-aged women with wine complaining about my partner? That's such a stereotype. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, no. Well, okay. I feel that way too. Because I've talked about that before. When I'm in my dorky cosplay at Dragon Con, I'm like, am I too old for this? And ultimately, what I arrive at is no. But I understand the feeling. Also, I did recently go to Disney World and Universal, and said friend's boyfriend, who is younger than us, looks way younger than us, but is younger, went with us, and I never got carded, and he got carded every time, even though we were together. And it was a weird feeling where I was like, I mean, I get it.
Should I be insulted? What's happening?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm happy to not have to get out my ID. I'm also kind of past the stage of being like, oh, but I should look younger. But it was still just weird that no one asked and then asked him.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if no one was carded.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I looked rough. I didn't even try, listeners. I was like, I'm so tired.
Right. You just give up. You're like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. And it was interesting in terms of, I literally ran a marathon and then did all of the parks and was fine. And then now I'm like, okay, my feet, right now, my feet are swollen. I got chafing. My body's not like it used to be. A good friend Marissa was like, we've all gained a little weight since the pandemic.
That's unnecessary.
She was right, but I was like, damn it.
Still unnecessary.
So it was something where I was like, okay, this is different than when I did it when I was younger. I still loved it. Right. But also it reminds me of something somebody said when we first started and we did our trauma series and I went on that We Hike to Heal hike. Somebody said, I'm trying to learn to not compare myself to my younger self. And I think about that a lot. Because it's true. You do change. And it's funny when you try to give advice to younger folks and you're like, I remember being your age.
Right.
And it's so frustrating to hear this advice and I get it. But also, ultimately, the advice was good. And it's like, they're not going to listen to you.
When you start understanding the phrase, youth is wasted on the young, and you're like, damn it. I thought that was such a corny, made no sense phrase. And I don't think that's true. I think people, I don't know, maybe the Gen Zers have got it figured out and really doing it up. You go, you do you. Watch out for debt, though. That's the other part is watch out for debt. But I really do wish I could place my confidence, my abilities, and just my less give a to my late 20s, early 30s person. Again, I say mid 30s was my favorite time of life because I don't think I would change much. I wouldn't change anything, but there are moments of yeah, I had so much anxiety and so much self-worth issues that I didn't enjoy anything until late 20s, mid 20s, late 20s. And even then it was a struggle. That was trying to corral my insecurities together to at least put them in one spot instead of being everywhere. But and today, again, I don't feel all the time, but I feel some of the times of being the 40s. Again, I think if I talked to other people from like in my 20s who were 40s, had a significantly different lifestyle, I don't think I hung out with many 40s people. I had people who were like 50s and 60s because they were either like divorced and able to like live their life without children.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the people we hung out with, and they were like able to kind of reclaim some of that and hung out with the others that were in that. Again, we are all in different places. So the fact that there's so many more 40-something people that are childless, that are not married, and that are enjoying their income as is, that is very significantly different than when I was in my 20s. I'm sorry I said that statement, but it's true. I wasn't as sad this year because every birthday is usually sad, but I was still kind of like, birthday, whatever. Still grateful that I did have, again, another year and feeling as healthy as I am, feeling like I'm in a stable place, although we're like politically watching everything be unstable. But personally, I'm in a stable place, which again, I'm one of those who's just waiting for the bottom to drop out because stability is not normal for me. And I think a lot of people understand that. I've figured out a lot of millennials and Gen Xers are, yeah, we feel that because, living the paycheck to paycheck has been my lifestyle up until about 3-4 years ago. So the majority of my life. So coming to here is great to be in this spot. But I'm like, I wish I had the energy 5 or 6 years ago because as I told you at Dragon Con, I'm like, yeah, 6 years ago, I think I would have loved this.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't enjoy this. Like, I just am so tired and overwhelmed by noise. I can't drink because I'm going to be too sleepy. Like, all these things, not that helps anything. But those are the things that, like, got through my head. I'm like, I wish I could have afforded to do this. There's no way in hell I could have afforded $100 pass, which was more than that point, and then trying to hang out with people and then buying a $20 drink or a $40 meal for a hamburger. Like, stuff like that. That was not a thing. And again, I realized this is a very privileged statement that I can today. But in reality, that was not something that I could have been afforded. I was literally, had to have a roommate, made sure my rent was below like $450, and making sure that I could just eat. And I remember days that I would scrounge around and be like, okay, if I spend $2 today and I can eat this, then tomorrow I can have $5 something. Like I would spend out my money that way because that's all I had. And then I'm like, okay, and then I get paid Wednesday. Like I'm so religious about checking my bank accounts because that's how I kept up of whether or not I was going to overdraft and whether or not I could afford some food. And then when I was a nanny, I'd be like, okay, I can eat at their house. They have drinks there. I'll just grab a couple of drinks from them. And when I go home, like knowing that they knew, like these things were very relevant to my mind. So I don't feel like I enjoyed that part of my life because I couldn't afford to. So coming into this place is a beautiful thing. And again, like it's such a different place for me because I didn't know that could be a possibility because social work, there was no way in hell. Like today, there's no way in hell I could have done this job and be where I am right now. But, and being able to see all of that. And so like having this place feels good. Finally feels like, again, the adult thing. But again, I feel like it's almost too late. Not too late. It's almost so sad because I'm like, yeah, but my time maxes out at 8:30. So it's an odd feeling. And then coming out and hanging out with people like y'all who, even though y'all slowed down, y'all are not slowed down. In my world, I'm like, that is not slowed down. So seeing that perspective is like coming to that perspective is really odd. And like grappling with biology, my economics, is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me sad too. I anytime someone asks me like, what would you tell your younger self? I would tell her like, and it wouldn't fix anything, but like, I wish you could have been happier with yourself or like less insecure, because I feel like when I had those like golden years, like I'm still living my life. I don't want to make it sound that way, but like when I had the like quote ideal body, I hated it. I hated my body still. Like I didn't all I did was feel bad about myself and think I should do better. And so it's really frustrating now. Like, I literally went on this trip. I did not wear a bra on 2 occasions. And I wore a hoodie and sweatpants. And I was happy about it, Samantha.
Yes.
But I wish that I could have, like, at the time where it mattered to me to, like, wear nice clothes or, like, wear clothes that made me feel good. I wish I could have done it in public instead of, like, known that I could have done it and then never did it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of those, there's not a fix-all. And it is. That's the thing. It's like, I wish I could feel the level of, like, no given at that younger age instead of wanting to please everybody. And then also wanting to disappear. But at this point, I do want to disappear just enough that people don't see me. So I can just be a kind of a sloth. Because those no bra days, those are my favorite.
I walked into a Disney resort with no bra on.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I mean, I was like,
no bra is such a, yeah. Who are you trying to impress there anyway? Pluto?
No, nobody.
Well, that's not Universal. Joel?
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it.
Daddy Joel?
No, oh my gosh. My friend, she had a shirt that said the daddy of us and a picture of Pedro Pascal. And there's a tradition now where you hand out bracelets at Universal Horror Nights. And we were handing out bracelets and a lot of people said, like, yeah. It was very cute.
I didn't know that was a thing. Did this start with Taylor Swift or has it always been around?
It started with Taylor Swift and now it's everywhere. But there would be big dudes who would have carabiners of bracelets. And I got some good ones, Samantha. Yeah.
No, that's something to brag about. Well, y'all, now that I'm done, thanks for listening. Let me know. Well, we have a very wide range of listeners. I would love to hear your thoughts. I think overall, in general, like, yes, I am enjoying where I am. I kind of forgot it was my birthday because I really just traveled with my partner and that's it. That's all I did. Anney tried to take me to dinner, but they kept telling her happy birthday.
Yeah, that was weird.
So that was odd. I was like, but it's my birthday. Okay.
My birthday is like a month away.
Because the first person that introduced, like, sat us down, was like, happy birthday. I was like, thank you. And then the rest of the time, they kept telling her happy birthday. And I was like, what's going on?
I was confused as well.
But yes, so essentially it was a very low-key birthday, and that's kind of the way I like it. I'm hoping to plan a big trip for next year, though.
I've already been hearing about it. We shall see. I hope so. But yeah, I'm glad you got to travel. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
And thank you for your wine.
You're the only one drinking wine.
Well, it's the
a
sentiment,
day and a half
you know.
old opened cupped wine.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's again that kind of fits with what we were talking about. I feel like.
I would do the same probably.
Well, listeners, we would love to hear from you. You can email us at stuffmediamomstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at Mom Stuff Podcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Mom Never Told You. We have a TeePublic store. My friend Marissa wore a Disco Luke shirt to Universal. Yay. It was the cutest thing. And we also have a book. You can get it now at stuffyoushouldreadbooks.com, wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer Christina, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Ooh, we should all go on a trip together.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. A Sminty trip.
Yeah.
Yes. And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite show.